Mendelian and non-Mendelian inheritance. Gregor Mendel's model of inheritance describes that every trait is controlled by a single gene, and each gene has two alleles, and there is a clear relationship between the dominant and the recessive pattern. If we take the example of a cross between two plants, one of the plant that is tall and second plant is short, as a cross of these two plants, the F1 generation will be produced, and all the plants of F1 generation will be tall. So there is a clear relationship between the dominant behavior and the recessive behavior. In this example, length tall plants, they are dominant over the short plants. Mendelian inheritance involve all those genes that obey the pattern of inheritance that is according to the laws of heredity which was formulated by the Gregor Mendel. Those patterns, they are law of dominance, law of segregation, and law of independent assortment. So all those genes which will obey these pattern of inheritance, they will be called as Mendelian genetics. While all those phenotypes which will obey, like the pattern of autosomal dominant, autosomal recessive, and X-linked, those traits will be called as Mendelian traits. Now, what is the non-Mendelian inheritance or the non-Mendelian traits? All those traits or phenotypes which deviate from the pattern of inheritance which was proposed by the Gregor Mendel is called as non-Mendelian inheritance, while the genes which do not obey this pattern is called as they run in the form of the inheritance as non-Mendelian inheritance. If we take the examples of non-Mendelian inheritance, there are many phenomena in the genetics which is considered as non-Mendelian inheritance, like the mitochondrial inheritance is considered as non-Mendelian inheritance, genomic imprinting, incomplete dominance, whereas one allele is not dominant to the other. There is a third phenotype as a result of the cross between two alleles. Codominance is also considered as non-Mendelian inheritance, multiple alleles, epigenetics, all these phenomena, they are considered as non-Mendelian inheritance and non-Mendelian genetics.